A live look at New Orleans, where the FBI is hunting for potential accomplices in yesterday's deadly terror attack. This as we get new details on some of those who were killed. Good morning. I'm Rich Edson. Bill and Dana are off. Hi, Molly.
Good morning, Rich. I'm Molly Line. This is America's Newsroom. Officials have yet to name the 15 people killed, but families are speaking out. Among the dead, an 18-year-old nursing student, a former college football player, and a young mother. We'll have more on them in a moment.
Meanwhile, we're learning more about the man police say plowed a rented truck into the crowd before opening fire on police. His name is Shamsuddin Jabbar. He's an American Army veteran from Texas. President Biden says he was inspired by ISIS.
The 42-year-old was killed in the shootout with police. The FBI does not believe he acted alone. Authorities are hunting for possible accomplices. Louisiana
Governor Jeff Landry just spoke on Fox and Friends. He says his state is in mourning.
It's a somber day here in the city and around Louisiana. I mean, we have parents that are going to have to, that are making funeral arrangements as we speak, that are waiting to have their loved ones released to them. And again, I mean, each of those is a reminder of the terrorism that exists and people and the evil out there that they want to afflict on America.
Another story we're following, the explosion of a Tesla Cybertruck outside of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. The blast killed the driver. At least 7 others were injured. Investigators say they're looking for possible links to the massacre in New Orleans.
Team Fox coverage. Jeff Paul has the latest from Las Vegas. But first, let's go to Garrett Tenney in New Orleans. Hey, Garrett.
Yeah, Rich, good morning to you. The top priority for investigators right now is tracking down anyone who was involved in this attack, the planning of it, but especially in carrying out of this attack. We have learned that investigation includes an Airbnb rental here in New Orleans where a fire broke out yesterday morning just hours after this attack. Louisiana's Attorney General says that they believe that the individuals involved used that Airbnb as a home base of sorts to make at least some of the improvised explosive devices that were found around the French Quarter early yesterday morning. We have also learned that hours before this attack, the 42-year-old suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, posted videos on social media about his support for ISIS and expressed a desire to kill people. This past hour, though, New Orleans police chief gave some conflicting information to what we've been hearing from other officials and said it is not a sure thing that other individuals were, in fact, involved in this attack.
There are some people of interest that I know that the FBI wants to screen as to whether or not they were associated or not. So this is not an accomplice situation as of yet. They are looking at anyone and everyone who could potentially have been affiliated, and it may very well be that they're not. And it may be that this is a lone wolf. We do not have final confirmation on that.
Overnight, investigators in Houston started searching Jabbar's home as they worked to piece together a timeline of when and how he was radicalized and who he has been in contact with leading up to this attack. Rich?
Garrett, what are we learning about the suspect?
Yeah, well, we know that he is a U.S. citizen. He was born in Texas. He served 13 years in the U.S. Army and Army Reserves, including a nearly 1-year deployment in Afghanistan. He really doesn't have much in terms of a criminal record or history of violence, as far as we've been able to find, just a misdemeanor for theft all the way back in 2002. As far as any changes in behavior that could suggest him being radicalized, a man who is married to Jabbar's ex-wife told the New York Times Jabbar had been acting erratically in recent months, so much so that the couple had to stop allowing the 2 daughters they share with Jabbar. They had to stop them from spending time with him. We also want to show you this video, which we got to warn you is hard to watch. This is of the aftermath of yesterday's attack, and as this investigation continues, we are hearing more from folks who survived this attack, including the man who shot this video.
Like, just the traumatic parts of it, of human nature and what anyone's capable of, like the body's mangled, strewn, like several unrecognizable. And we had seen several of them talking, like just like me and you now. Only difference is we walked inside that door, 20 feet away from these victims that we're still breathing, probably not going to make it.
Yeah, and today here in New Orleans, there is a very heavy police and security presence ahead of the big college football game, the Sugar Bowl, taking place that was rescheduled from yesterday, moved to today in the wake of this attack. Tens of thousands of fans are in town for that game. Police say they are not taking any chances, and they will have all the resources needed from both the federal, state, and local level to ensure the safety of this event. Rich?
Yeah, more on that coming up. Garrett Tenney live for us in New Orleans. Garrett, thank you. Molly?
We are also monitoring another potential terror attack in Las Vegas. A Tesla Cybertruck exploded yesterday outside of the Trump International Hotel, killing the driver and injuring at least 7 people. Authorities are looking at possible connections between these two incidents. Jeff Paul is live in Las Vegas with the latest. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, good morning, Molly. And that is the question on everyone's mind when hearing about what happened here at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Was it somehow related to the terrorist attack in New Orleans? Well, at the moment, authorities say they believe this incident in Nevada was an isolated one, but they are investigating any possible connections between New Orleans and just terrorism in general.
I know everybody's interested in that word and trying to see if we can say, hey, this is a terrorist attack. That is our goal, and that's what we're trying to do. We have a ton of resources dedicated to this right now, and again, we're doing it with our partners.
Now, this all unfolded yesterday morning. Investigators say it involved a 2024 Tesla Cybertruck that was rented through Turo, the same app used by the suspect in the New Orleans attack. Authorities say the driver rented the truck in Colorado, where he drove to Las Vegas, eventually pulling up to the valet area at the Trump Hotel. Seconds later, witnesses saw smoke inside the truck, then there was a flash, and then an explosion. Inside was the driver, the sole occupant, and later investigators discovered gasoline canisters and large firework mortars. The driver died, but 7 other innocent bystanders were hurt. But the local sheriff says had it been a different vehicle involved and not a Tesla Cybertruck, the explosion could have been far more devastating.
The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump Hotel were not even broken by that blast.
Now, in addition to the investigation surrounding any possible links between New Orleans or to terrorism in general, authorities are also looking into why entities owned by both President-elect Donald Trump and Tesla owner Elon Musk were involved. Both are obvious political allies and did a lot of work together hand in hand during the 2024 political season. So far, authorities haven't put out the name of the suspect, but again, they do reference that they believe he acted alone. Molly?
Yeah, certainly they'll be looking into potential political motivations. Jeff Paul, thank you. Rich?